From County College of Morris, this is CCM All Access.
Good afternoon, and welcome all to the award ceremony of the Gerard Bevan Award. My name is Jack Regan, and I'm the current host and associate producer of CCM All Access. This award today has been funded by the United Adjunct Faculty of New Jersey, and the three wonderful students that will be receiving the awards today are Daniel Giordano, Derek O'Leary, and Matthew Sinnott. Now, who is Gerard Bevan, you may ask? He was one of CCM's founding faculty members. And while most of his colleagues developed courses in writing and literature, he instead focused on speech, when speech was originally in the English department. He had a visible presence on campus, 10 years spent as an assistant chair, as well as serving in multiple college committees, where his colleagues still remember him quite fondly. Since Bevan's departure, courses in television production and media have been developed, and in 2013, the Department of Communications was started, where speech fundamentals is still required in many of its programs. Bevan now resides in Western Florida, where he is the proud father of two sons, Thomas and Todd, and he sends his regrets for not being able to make it tonight, but he would like to congratulate each of the recipients and wish them the best in their future endeavors. This year's 2020 and 2021 honorees, like Bevan, have made remarkable contributions to the college's history and the overall promotion of the college. Presenting the awards will be a previous recipient of the Gerard Bevan Award, Brenda Todd.
Thank you, Jack, and hello, everyone. Our first recipient, Dan Giordano, joined the crew of CCM All Access in the fall of 2018. Julian Costa, the show's producer and Dan's business professor at the time, recognized something in Dan that would soon become apparent to us all. Whether he was operating one of the studio cameras, running the soundboard, or hosting the show, Dan was always prepared, demonstrated skill and kindness and professionalism. After receiving his associate's degree in business administration and completing his fourth season with CCM All Access, Dan has gone on to Montclair State University, where he's pursuing his bachelor's degree in marketing. Please come up and accept our congratulations on a well-deserved award. Daniel Giordano.
Thank you, Brenda. Good afternoon, respected faculty, family, friends, and fellow students. I'm humbled to be selected as a recipient of the Gerard Bevans Award, and I can't thank Professor Costa, the County College of Morris, and the United Adjunct Faculty of New Jersey enough for their generosity. This award and CCM All Access is a testament to the great lengths CCM will go to nurturing and enriching the lives of their students. So thank you. My time with CCM All Access started in 2018 in a business information class with Professor Costa. Little did I know what we were about to begin on. One evening, Professor Costa asked myself and another student, Daniil Barkov, to step aside, and he asked us if we wanted to volunteer with this new TV program on campus. Daniil was really excited and he was ready to go right off the bat. I wasn't sure if I'd have the time, but after a little bit of thinking, I committed, and I'm so grateful that I did end up doing that. It was absolutely a privilege. I started out on camera and then had the opportunity to host as well. This opportunity grew me in many ways that I couldn't have expected. I learned so much about CCM by talking and interviewing with these different people that we had on the show, and I learned a lot more about the opportunities that the school and the different departments had to offer. I also learned a lot from the advice that the guests had to share on the show. And I also grew professionally as well, which I'll get to in a little bit. Now, none of this would have been possible if it wasn't for the people that created the show, CCM All Access. So first, again, I want to say thank you so much to Professor Costa. This was his idea. He started this. So thank you, Professor. Thank you for asking me to volunteer with the show. I'd also like to thank Dan Cleary. He runs all the technical, everything on the back end. He does the lights, he does the audio, the cameras, everything. We couldn't do this show without Dan. I'd also like to thank Brenda Todd as well. She's been here from the very start of the show, and Brenda's always been such a warm and kind person, and she's always been able to give me advice or input as I've learned the ropes through this great program. Now, lastly, I'd like to share two of the biggest things that I've learned from my time volunteering with CCM All Access. The first is to listen deeply when talking with other people, and don't always be thinking about the next thing that we have to ask or the next thing that we have to say in the conversation to keep it going. One thing I learned as hosting is that the best conversations, the most involved, the easiest way to get to know someone is by just listening deeply to the things they're saying instead of me being distracted by, oh, what questions am I going to ask next? So that would be the first thing that I've learned is throughout life in general, listen deeply and don't be consumed with what I think or what I need to say next. The rest will just flow naturally. Now, the second thing I'd like to share that I've learned to leave you off with is to put yourself out there. And you never know which opportunities and which skills you go after will end up helping and benefiting you down the road. I also work as a marketing director for a piano restoration company, and there have been many situations where I've been responsible for interviewing someone for a video that the company's making, or perhaps we're creating a video from scratch and I'm in charge of helping direct it. And if it wasn't for my experience with CCM All Access, this might have been a pretty difficult, daunting task, but the experience that I gained from CCM All Access has helped me out tremendously in this professional endeavor. So again, if there are things that come up in life, my advice, my recommendation from what I've learned is that it's worth taking any opportunities that come up if they're enriching yourselves and adding skills. You never know how they'll end up benefiting you in the future. So again, thank you so much to everyone involved, the County College of Morris. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dan. Matthew Sennett, our second recipient, is a former student in Professor Costa's speech fundamentals class. He joined the season in its 4th season, although Matt has served as floor manager, camera operator, and audio technician. He has never had the desire to host, although we all think he'd be great at it. He did prove, however, to be a terrific guest on the show one time when I hosted. Matt received his Associate of Science degree at CCM in May of 2020 and has since transferred to Rutgers University to pursue his bachelor's in criminal justice. No doubt, Matt's admirable work ethic, sense of humor, and easygoing disposition will benefit him in his future career. Matthew Sennett, please come up and accept this award of recognition for all that you've attributed to CCM All Access.
Thank you, Brenda, for the introduction. Brenda is the most welcoming person on the crew, and her encouragement is a huge part of what makes CCM All Access such an amazing thing to be a part of. As Brenda said, my name is Matthew Sennett. I was the recipient of the Bevan Scholarship in the spring of 2020. I would like to thank Dan Cleary, whose technical support is the backbone of the show, and I would also like to thank Professor Julian Costa. Professor Costa has made himself available to all of his students, and I am eternally grateful for his guidance on my resumes and interview tactics that he has been able to provide. Without him, I would not be here, and this show would not be the same. Professor Costa asked me to come to a filming of the show while I took his speech fundamentals class. I was hesitant at first because I thought I was a terrible orator. I'm grateful that he asked me to attend a taping that spring, and this experience has allowed me to make good friends and learn new skills that I would not have had the opportunity to do so otherwise. As a criminal justice major, I had no business being behind a camera. That being said, I'm glad I did. Working with the CCM All Access crew spiked my curiosity in the film industry and how it was all done. Here I was able to practice my public speaking skills and enjoy myself along the way. This crew has allowed me to connect with my fellow CCM students in a way that is very rare for a commuter school. One of my favorite memories is after taping, my friend Daniil Barkov, who cannot be here today, and I would go to the Randolph Diner and catch up and just hang out. I am extremely thankful to the friends I've made here. I'm also incredibly thankful for the opportunity that this media program has given me. I am, of course, the most grateful for the Bevan Scholarship itself. It is a grateful gift to those who get to receive it. Although I have graduated from CCM, I believe my time here in the Media Center will be my fondest memories. I'm glad to know future students will be able to go outside of their comfort zone and experience something truly unique as CCM All Access. I am incredibly grateful for everyone's support and everyone that has allowed the CCM All Access program to exist. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Matt. It's been a pleasure working with you. Our third recipient, Derek O'Leary, enrolled at County College of Morris the fall semester of 2019, where he met his Business Information Systems professor, Julian Costa. I think we all know where I'm going from here. Professor Costa, who seems to have an eye for talent, invited Derek to join the crew. Currently in his third season in the show, Derek has served as teleprompter and camera operator, floor manager, and technical director. He is the techie of the crew, computer savvy and very mechanical, with no desire whatsoever to host, despite Julian's persistent urging. Upon graduating from CCM, Derek plans to transfer to Rutgers University to pursue his bachelor's in marketing. Derek, please come up and receive your Gerard Bevan Award.
First, I would like to give a special thanks to the United Adjunct Faculty of New Jersey for being able to provide me to be the 2021 recipient of the Gerard Bevan Award. To me, this award represents the work done by Gerard Bevan that led to the creation of media and television programs here at CCM. The production of CCM All Access would not have been possible without his first steps here at the County College of Morris. I would like to also give a very big thanks to Julian Costa and Dan Cleary. It's impossible to imagine the show without their guidance and knowledge of the television and media field. The people I have met and work we have done during the production of this show has helped forge this experience into one I will always remember. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek O'Leary, Daniel Giordano, and Matthew Sinnott for those wonderful speeches, and congratulations on your awards. In addition to the excellent contributions made by our student crew, we are very fortunate to have a wonderful and supporting staff here at the Media Center. I'd like to welcome Mr. Joe Shilp, who is the Associate Director of this fine facility and has agreed to say a few words.
I don't know how much I agreed to say a few words or if Professor Costa twisted my arm, but I am here. First of all, I do want to commend these three fine students who are not merely good students, but fine young gentlemen, none of which are majoring in media studies, but it just goes to show how important media is in today's world. It means just much more than TV production, and we'll get to that in a moment. But with regard to these young men, one is a business administration and digital marketing major, one is in criminal justice, and the other is in marketing. But again, they're more than just good students. These are fine young gentlemen. Dan does a lot of service work with Habitat for Humanity. Also the Live the Gospel program and Meal a Day. So obviously service is a big part of what he is about, service to the community. Matt, he's a peer leader and a CCD teacher at St. Mark the Evangelist, and he's also a member of the Long Valley First Aid Squad. Again, public service. So it's more than just studies, it's about giving back to the community. And Derek, he's a bit of an outdoorsman who's into hunting and fishing. As Luke Bryan says in the song, hunting and fishing and loving every day. It's what it's all about. Get out, enjoy the outdoors, and be a part of nature. So these are men with depth and future leaders that we're developing here at County College of Morris in whatever study it is. And like I said, we are the media studies department here, but we're open to everybody because media is everything. If you've ever sat on a Zoom conference call with somebody whose audio dropped out, you know how important good audio is. If you've been on Zoom or Teams with somebody who is sitting in front of a lit window and they're in shadow, you know how important lighting is and framing of a shot is. These are all skills you develop here in the TV studio that you will use in marketing, where you do social media, video for social media, for YouTube training videos, that you'll use in criminal justice, where investigators will go to a crime scene and shoot video of the scene and reenactments. So angles are very important in framing as well. And again, in marketing, social media marketing. So these are all skills that are very important. Media is never going to go away. I'll tell you a quick story. I started as a business administration major at William Patterson College back then. Oh, let's just say a long time ago. And when I changed my major to communications, the chair of the department interviewed me, and she was her focus was on interpersonal communication studies and theory, not broadcasting. So when she asked me what I wanted to go into and I said broadcasting, she said, well, why would you want to do that? There's already 36 channels of cable TV. How much more will there ever need to be? Well, obviously she didn't see the internet age coming and the need for video now. There's such a need for video and such an amount of video production that it's just incredible. So there'll always be a need for it, and we're always glad to offer it to anybody, not just to media studies students. Finally, I would like to thank Julian, who you'll meet momentarily. When he came to me about 4 years ago, I thought, adjunct teacher, he'll be here and gone before you know it, and this show will last 6 months, but it hasn't. As a testament to him, we've done over 65 shows. I think we're up to 67 now, which is a testament to him, but it's also a testament to his drive that he's able to do this through the pandemic. We did not miss a beat this past year, and that's a testament to Julian and also to Dan Cleary, who is a great engineer and who really is driven to help the students. It's just the way he's wired. He's very helpful, but more than that, he makes things happen. It's easy enough to sit up at a studio, turn the cameras on, balance them, which he does all of that, and cut a show. But when we went remote, as we did during the pandemic, and we had to figure out how to incorporate Zoom into the video production system, he figured it out, made it happen, and we're still able to go on through the pandemic. So I cannot thank enough Julian and Dan for what they've done, and all of our students for the great work that they've done. They're such deserving recipients and fine young gentlemen. With that said, I would like to bring up to the stage now Professor Julian Costa to close the show. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe, and thank you all for being here today. When, it's funny, Joe, you kind of brought me back down memory lane, because I remember having that conversation with you a few years back and thinking to myself, I wonder how long this is going to go. Maybe this will just be something we do maybe 3 or 4 times. It'll look really nice on the YouTube channel, and then we'll have our memories. But to think, well, here we are, almost 70 shows later, and working through a pandemic, because that was one of my first thoughts when they said that we were going to be going to remote learning was, I guess this is it for the show, but that did not happen. And that's largely thanks to the dedication of Dan Cleary and Joe Shilp, Brenda Todd, and so many other people. I have to say, it almost seemed, as to kind of shed some positivity on the whole pandemic, it almost seemed like a new production endeavor for us. And Brenda, when you were on the show as a guest a couple weeks ago, you mentioned that it was like, this is the next step for us. We had tried everything else, and it just seemed like a logical step to start doing shows through Zoom. And Dan was somehow able to make it work where we could patch Zoom into the switcher, and we ended up now using another studio again. And it really, the production has almost become more sophisticated. And I would have never expected that to happen, especially given the times that we are in. You know, I have a bit of a nostalgia. I mean, anybody who knows me will say I'm very nostalgic. But, you know, looking out here and seeing, like, Brenda, who's worked with us since the pilot episode in 2018. Dan Giordano came on about halfway through the first season. And we have people like Jack Riggin and Avery, who's running the audio board, people who have just come into it this year and really just took to things very quickly and have made great contributions. So, you know, Matt, to piggyback on your speech, you know, you think about special moments at CCM, and for me, my special moments have all taken place here in this building. I've been here 5 years, and when people ask me, you know, because I am an adjunct, I teach at a number of different schools, they say, well, do you have a favorite, or is there one school that you think you just gel the best with, or whatever the case may be? And I say it's always CCM because of working in the TV studio. And I thank everybody so much for continuing the production, for making it a priority, even when things are just going crazy with the pandemic and not really knowing what is going to happen in a week or two as things kind of unfolded. Everybody remained very positive, very spirited and enthusiastic. And I've seen a lot of growth in everybody, at least among the student crew. And it's been just amazing to watch. And it makes me just want to keep going, you know. And there are certain weeks where I've said to myself, like, I don't know if I can do another season of this show. But then at the same time, I'm reminded of how much fun it is and how special it is. And to hear everybody say such wonderful things about their experiences here, it makes me think, oh, well, let's keep going. And as I say that, I'm sure Dan is probably cringing in the other room, but he's been terrific, and I can't thank him enough, even though there are probably times he wants to, you know, throw me out the second floor window, but I'll take that. So to conclude, I'd just like to say again, thank you all for being here today. Thank you for sticking with the show as long as you have. Thank you again to Joe and to Dan for your hours and hours of dedication, and also to Gerard Bevan, who directly and indirectly created a culture of communication on this campus when this college was in its infancy. And it's obviously grown from just a public speaking course to everything that you see. So thank you all, and to those of you watching who are taking classes, be safe, good luck with your finals, and from all of us on the crew, we wish you good health and thank you for watching.